Namaste. Greetings from India. Indeed, it's a moment of proud privilege to be here today amongst each one of you on this beautiful day. And how lovely it is when each one of us from across the globe are deliberating on such important and pertinent skills which will ensure that we are not just ready for 21st century, but we are also embracing the skills of 22nd century, because resilience is one such skill. So let me express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of International Conference on Educational Leadership and Management 2021. And what a topic! The topic resilient leadership. Isn't that something that each one of us want to become? Each one of us want to become a resilient leader, because we need to know how to bounce back. And this pandemic has taught us that we should not waste any crisis. In crisis, we have to look for opportunity, and opportunity needs to have a plan so that it can work the way we want it to be. So how do we turn these uncertainties into opportunities, and opportunities into doable vision, is what we will be discussing about today. Now, let me start with the words of Nelson Mandela. When we talk about resilient leader, I think he is one of the figure that comes to our mind, each one of us. He said, "Do not judge me by my success. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." This is what is needed, or this is what is the key ingredient when we talk about a resilient leader. How many times you fall down, that is not important. How many times you bounce back, and the intensity by which you bounce back, and your passion of bouncing back, and then converting that passion into possibilities and the purpose, and then ensuring that you are doing that along with your team. So let me begin with today's topic, that is resilient leadership, and that too in this new normal, and especially when we are talking of education domain, because education sector, like any other sector we know, was badly hit when we talk about pandemic. Yes, this is one sector wherein teachers, students, parents, everybody has shown how resilient they were. That is why they made education a priority, and all of us, we kept on moving. When I talk of kept on moving, something that comes to my mind is be like a river. Because when we see river, come what may, live, you see river, it keeps on flowing, the water keeps on flowing, making its way. So that is what we have to do. We have to keep on flowing positively, making our way so that we become a better version of ourselves. So let me start sharing my screen, and we will be, after this particular session, maybe all of us will turn a better version of ourselves, or I can say a more resilient version of ourselves. So here we go. When we talk about resilient leadership, and that too, as I told you, in the new normal of education, what do we look for? We look for a person, or we look for the skill which are ready to navigate the pressure of new learning landscape. Because yes, to become a resilient leader, you need to know how to take that pressure. The pressure should not become a stress for you. Your resilience skill or attitude will be displayed by everything, by your strength, which will be physical strength, your emotional strength, your mental strength, also the kind of confidence that you have, not in just your own self, but the kind of confidence that you instill in your team. How do you motivate your own self and to your team? What is your protecting self guard? Because you need to be protected first, then you need to protect your team, and then you need to protect the entire ecosystem. Your efforts, each and everything that you do counts. And how ready are you to embrace change? Are you ready to embrace change willingly? That will make you more agile to face the situation that will come in front of you. So resilience is basically an ability to bounce back from adversity. We all are bouncing back. We have seen, when we talk about, as I told you, education sector, each one of us, we bounced back because we wanted to keep education a priority. So it allows us to recover from change to hardship. Okay, so whether it is workplace or your home life, your personal life, you are able to recover and move ahead. You embrace that change and you bounce back. So today, as we are going through these unprecedented times, whether it's our professional life or it's personal life, we have seen that changes are coming with a lightning speed. Okay, by the time we are ready for the change, we see a new change coming. And what is happening? Our resilience is getting tested time and again. Time and again, this one particular skill is getting tested. And I think all of us, we have passed through that acid test because we have emerged as a better version, a more resilient person who is ready to adapt change. Maybe initially, when the pandemic has hit us, it was difficult, but slowly and gradually, we have seen this change turning into hardship, and that is how we have embraced it. And when I talk about education domain, again, it is not untouched. It is not untouched with all the kind of changes which are happening, whether it is teachers or parents or our students. I think our students will become a better leader for tomorrow because they have seen these unprecedented times, and they have become a more resilient person. They have become a more resilient individual. Now, as a leader, it is very important for each one of you to demonstrate this resilience. Okay, you might be a resilient person, but are you able to demonstrate it? So it's your ability to demonstrate what the skill that you have, the capability that you have. Till the time you will not demonstrate it to your team, how your team will come to know that you are a resilient leader? So it is your ability to see failures as minor setback. You cannot just give up because you have got a setback. From setback to comeback is the attitude that each and every person should have. So you need to see those failures as minor setback, and you will definitely bounce back. You need to have this capability, capacity, and tenacity to bounce back quickly. No, there is no time to be in that negative frame of mind. You need to move ahead. World is changing at a very, very rapid pace. You need to bounce back with the speed of lightning. That fast you need to be. And this starts with your mindset. You need to be emotionally very, very strong. So your emotional strength and your courage to bounce back counts a lot. You need to remain positive. You need to look for new opportunities. Every crisis comes with some kind of opportunity. Are you able to see that opportunity? That's very important. And how you'll be able to see the opportunity? It will be only when you are in the positive frame of mind. Now, you are the one as a leader who has to set the direction and light the path. You are the beacon of hope, who will light the path for others. You need to become that lighthouse who is guiding everyone. So are you ready to become that, or you are already that? That is the question that you need to ask. Each one of you need to ask your own self. So take a pause for a minute and ask, are you really building resilience? Are you finding meaning in adversity? If you are doing that, yes, you are in the path of the process of becoming a resilient leader. So to successfully navigate through the times of uncertainty and lead your team, you need to be adaptable. It is very important to be adaptable, be proactive, and be there, be flexible, be ready to recover, be innovative, have all these skills so that you are ready to face the challenges in the most positive manner. Now, when we build resilience, okay, we see the kind of person we have become because we move from a fixed mindset approach to a growth mindset approach. So it is very important. As per various research also, it is found that the people or the leaders who have high level of resilience, they are viewed as the best team members, or their teams are the one which does not just survive through the difficulties, but they thrive, and they then set a new record of success, because adversity sometimes brings out the best in us. Adversity then actually put us in a mode to innovate something which is new, which you might have not thought during the normal situation. So take each and every crisis as an opportunity to innovate something. But when that can happen, when you are in the positive frame of mind, you have kept your team motivated, and you yourself practice resilience. How do we do that? How do we practice resilience? So let's find out how do we practice resilience, and resilience from an eye of an educator, because I am an educator and I'll be presenting you that perspective, why it is so important to cultivate greatness at work. Because when we cultivate greatness at work, we are in return becoming a resilient leader. So the 8 steps that I believe we need to embrace to practice resilience are, now these 8 steps, if while I'm telling you about these 8 steps, I want each one of you to keep on introspecting how strong are these domains for you. When I talk about social connect or practicing gratitude or your sleep pattern or being mindful, how much are you practicing it? So keep on rating yourself between 1 to 10 while we go on discussing about that where do you stand and how much you need to work on yourself. So when we talk about social connect, it is very important to build and develop relationship, whether it is your personal relationship or professional relationship. You need to have a very strong network. You know, we as an individual cannot live in that ecosystem wherein we say it's I, me, myself, and I am an island. No, we are not an island, right? We are societal animal. We need to live in society. We need to have positive relations, because these are the people who will be there during a time of isolation, when we need somebody to talk to, when we need somebody to discuss our ideas, or when we need a team to ideate the process. So it is very important to develop a network of personal and professional relations. Now, second is, be intentional about setting aside time to contact your connection. You know many people, but how many times do we really call them up and ask them how are they? Or just discuss something good with them, or discuss what is happening in our life. Sometime we need to come out of this digital world of just sending messages or sending mails. Personal connect is very, very important. Call them up, talk to them, develop these connection. You need to set out time for that. And next is, you need to exercise regularly. When you exercise regularly, it is not just your body which is going to function in a better manner. It is your thought, your mind, everything functions in a better manner, because you are providing that important food in the form of exercise, which is very, very pertinent for your body. So when you exercise regularly, it improves your ability to process stress and simultaneously increase your resilience. So each and every aspect is very important when we talk about increasing the resilience quotient that we are discussing about. Next is how important sleep is for us. We all are aware of that. But how many times do we really take out the recommended 7 to 8 hours to sleep? It is proven, it is scientifically proven that when we are following our sleep pattern properly, it also strengthens the resilient leadership. So sleep makes you a strong leader. Isn't that really good to know? I mean, to become a good leader, we need to have good sleep. That's so nice to know. It is like you are relaxing your mind, you're relaxing your body, you are giving a break to your thought process. And next day, you are ready with the new thought process, with the new kind of positivity and energy. So, proper sleep is very, very important. Moving ahead, mindfulness. Most of you might be aware of this terminology, mindfulness. So, mindfulness fosters learning new perspective and a degree of self-awareness that enhances your resilience quotient. Mindfulness is that me time of your enjoying that particular moment and just letting the good thoughts flow. Practice mindfulness if you want to become the leader of tomorrow. Mindfulness is your key to unlock the future potentials and future possibilities. Change, as we know, is the only universal constant. So yes, embrace the change. Become a lifelong learner, but just do not become the learner and do not apply it. Learn it to apply it. Always remember, great leaders are great learners, but only learning and not applying is not the key. Learn and apply, implement, and let this cycle of learn, relearn, unlearn keep on moving. Keep on moving and keep on churning it, because the more you will churn it, the better leader you will become for the future. Now, one thing that's very, very important is many of the time we just enjoy something, but we do not keep on enjoying that moment for a prolonged time. Start doing that deliberately. Deliberately start enjoying those positive moods. Prolong that experience and keep on thinking about it. Because when you keep on thinking about something positive, something which makes you happy, then you are being in that moment of positivity. You will reach towards your goal of positivity. It is very important for a resilient leader to intentionally practice positivity. Your each and every moment, your each and every act, your each and every step needs to be positive. You need to remain positive, and positivity is something that we have to practice day in and day out. So ensure that whenever you are going through something which is very positive, or whenever you are in a positive mood, prolong that positive mood, so that whatever decision you take, whatever act you do, are also laden with a lot of positivity, because that aura of positivity will then increase, and that is what is needed. Also very important is to acknowledge and appreciate. We do appreciate people work, but at times it is very important that first acknowledge that small step that somebody has done, and then appreciate. Practice gratitude day in day out. Let your day begin with practicing gratitude. Giving thanks will actually make you a better leader, and this is a proven fact. I really do not have to talk about this. These are few of the practices if leaders will follow. These are 8 leaderships. I can say that these are the 8 keys that I'm sharing with you. Each and every key will unlock that potential of the resilient leader that you are becoming every moment. So resilience is the capacity to not only endure great challenges, but get stronger in the midst of them. And this was stated by Professor Nancy from Harvard Business School. Now, this is such an extraordinarily important capability, because we live in the world with non-stop crisis, right? We do not know when the crisis is going to happen, when the calamity is going to struck, when the emergency is going to take place. Everything is so unpredictable and unexpected. So often we face these difficult surprises, right? And sometimes these surprises are positive, and sometimes these surprises are very, very challenging. So what we need to do is we need to be ready to face them. So one after other, these challenges keep on coming, like how waves, they break the shore. But are we ready for that? Yes. If we practice the 8 resilient steps that I have spoken about, then definitely we are ready to face these challenges in a more resilient way. So becoming a more resilient leader is not something that you have followed 8 steps and you have become a more resilient leader and you have displayed resilient skills in your attitude, but it is something that we need to practice daily. It should be like daily affirmation that you are practicing. Each and every step that you take should be towards becoming a more resilient person. And it is more like looking inward. We have to look inward. We need to make a commitment to our own self about learning, following the purpose that is there, the bigger purpose. When we have passion, when there are possibilities, then purpose is definitely met. Also, we need to keep on cultivating on relationship. So we can cultivate on relationship, we can follow our purpose, we can respond to challenges with more strength. And when we do that, we see that automatically we are sharpening our skills. So becoming a resilient leader is a lifelong journey. It is not something like you have followed 8 attributes of resilience and you have become a resilient leader. Till the time you will not follow it, till the time you will not make it a part of your daily life, it is like your morning affirmation that you have to practice every time, and you have to keep on sharpening the skill. Because see, none of us are born with it. It is not in our DNA, and there is no app from where we can download resilience. It is something that we have to build in. and we all have the capability and capacity to build it. It's all in our mind. How is our attitude? What is our mindset towards it? Are we really adaptable? Are we ready to build in? Are we ready to sharpen our skill every time? So these are some of the questions which we again need to ask ourselves as we take this lifelong journey, because resilience doesn't come with a full stop that, okay, I have become a resilient leader. It's a journey wherein we have to move ahead every day, every minute, every time. So how do we move ahead? So when we move ahead, we actually go into the cycle wherein we know how to respond and how to come from respond to recovery, because we have seen during this new normal everything has changed. We are into the world of remote learning. We are managing with technologies. Maybe all of us were not so pro with technology, but we started managing with technology. We started understanding the changing policies and developing new strategies. Also in the educational sphere has seen the sea change. But this new interim normal, leaders are the one who have gone the way, they have shown the way, and they are leading by the example. And this example came from the shift in the mindset, the shift from respond to recovery. So the three phases when we talk about managing any crisis, they are: how do you respond to it, your immediate reaction? So are you prepared to manage it? And how do you recover from it? Have you learned from it and have you emerged stronger, or you have really gone into the echo chamber of negativity and everything seems negative and you feel that, oh, you are not able to recover to this situation? So when from respond to recovery, that journey you take, then comes thriving, your ability to confidently prepare for the next normal. Are you able to thrive? Are you able to thrive to success? So let me quickly take you through this journey from respond to recover. So there are situations, okay? So resilient leader need to understand it's all mindset. It's all mindset, because when it is set in your mind, when you have shifted your mindset from fixed mindset to the growth mindset, definitely you are taking the journey that is from respond to recovery. Now imagine a situation which is unpredictable. Are you able to see that situation? Are you able to grow from that unpredictable to the interim normal and then move ahead? Are you able to focus from inward looking to market facing? What does market demand? Am I ready to change? Do I know what my stakeholders are looking for? Am I able to articulate the destination as stakeholders outcome? Because when I know what my parents, like an educator, if I know what my parents, what my students, what my teachers are looking for, then I'm able to plan out accordingly. How do I manage crisis? How am I able to manage it in a proper way? Do I know what are the different skill set needed to manage this crisis? So the program management is very important, from crisis management of response to recovery or program management. This step is very, very important. Then how is the planning? We have contingency planning and we have scenario planning. Maybe this particular unprecedented time is for a limited period. So have we planned accordingly? Do we have the financial resources? Do we have other resources to move ahead? Like talking about education sector, do we have the resources to technologically change the learning landscape? If we do not have the resources, what is our planning? How are we going to go ahead with that? And what is our attitude? Are we just reacting, or we are reinventing? So when we reinvent, when we go from the cycle of reacting to reinventing in a positive manner, then we thrive. So the cycle from respond to recover to thrive is a three-way process, three-step process basically, and each one of us need to move ahead from the respond domain to the thriving domain. So is there any definition for a truly resilient leader? No, there is not one particular definition for a truly resilient leader, and it is not something like one size fits all. But truly resilient leaders are usually defined by who they are. Now, who are they? You can distinguish them from others by seeing these qualities that I am going to discuss right now with you. They have the ability to stabilize what is happening today and pilot for the tomorrow. They can navigate through constraints. We all face challenges in our life, but how are we reacting to that? What is our adversity management quotient? Are we able to navigate and see a better tomorrow, a more innovative tomorrow? So, this one quality is very important, wherein you know what is happening today. Today, we are facing crisis, but you are able to stabilize it and move towards, along with your team, towards a better, a more innovative tomorrow. Next is you have the ability to demonstrate your team, your customers, your students, your community, your society, your ecosystem, that whatever you are doing, each and every step that you are taking is in the best interest of theirs. Okay, you have their best interest in your heart. You have the ability to demonstrate that you are not just doing this because you believe in this, you are doing it because you know it is best for everyone who is associated with you. Next is the ability to dispel information, fear, and rumors. You know, sometimes we become so negative because of the fear that we have in our mind, or the rumors that are there in the society or spread everywhere. So, a resilient leader has the ability to dispel it and create a vision, a clear vision, and continues to clear the doubts so that the fear eliminates and everybody sees the path clearly. Providing that vision to the larger community takes a lot of effort. So a leader, a truly resilient leader, demonstrate this ability. Then the fourth ability that is again very important is the ability to empower team with decisive action and courage in the situation wherein everything is volatile. So you need to empower others. You cannot be just the one who knows everything. Leadership is about transformational leadership. You are also empowering your team in the entire journey. Fifth is a truly resilient leader has the ability to stay focused on what lies ahead. You know, very important to stay focused while you are instilling confidence and steadiness everywhere in the entire ecosystem. It is very important for you to stay focused. Your being focused will then ensure that your team is ready for a better tomorrow. Your team is ready to prepare for the upcoming challenges or unprecedented times because they can see in you that you are a focused leader. Come what may, whether it was adversity or it is the good time, it was the say the time before pandemic, or it's the time after pandemic, or it was the time during pandemic, you stayed focused because you believed in your ability and you believed that whatever you are doing is for the best interest of the society, and you had the ability to demonstrate it. It's not about your self belief, but are you able to demonstrate it? That is what is very, very important. Now, what do resilient leaders basically do? They always prioritize what is to be done. Their priorities are very, very clear, and their priorities come with time frame. This is the time frame, this is the timeline. We have started this work and it needs to get over but by this time. It is very important to have time frame in mind when you start anything new or anything that you want to do, any growth plan that you have your mind. You need to know your priority, what come first, what come next. You need to have the time frame. And very important aspect is accountability. How accountable you yourself are. Who is accountable in your team? And are you keeping a tap on that accountability? Because when each one of us becomes accountable for the work that we have to do, the work becomes in a more harmonious manner. At the same time, with their priority, they have their plans ready. If plan A is not going to work, my priority is to jump to plan B and have a time frame and accountability. So they manage priorities, then accordingly respond, learn from it, leverage and recover and ensure that everybody is doing it together, because then only we can enable an organization to thrive. Because we have seen this COVID era, everybody is trying to thrive and transform in the post-pandemic workshop. So it is very important that the specific action that resilient leader they take, like managing priorities, then responding to it, learning and leveraging and recovering. That is very, very important, because now we know each and every organization, whether it's an educational institute or any professional workplace, everybody is trying to thrive and transform, because that transformation is very, very important when we are talking about post-COVID workplace. Post-COVID workplace won't be what it was earlier. Post-COVID school won't be the same what it was earlier. Now everything has changed. The entire learning landscape, the ecosystem around, everything has changed. And this change is from thriving to transformation. So if the COVID era is testing your ability to bounce back, all you have to do is just advance and thrive. Believe in yourself, advance and thrive. Modify your thoughts, your action, change your views, your perspective, your way of responding. Just change it and modify it, because that change is needed. Broaden your own outlook. Till the time you will not work on your own self, nobody can work on yourself. So broaden your own outlook and build resilience. Inspire your team to become more adaptable. Adaptability is a skill each one of us need to possess. So do not just be in the system of changing your own self, adapting to different situation, but ensure that your team is also doing the same at the same time, because everyone have to grow together in the post pandemic era. We need to be each other support. An organization cannot run by just one person. The organizations always thrive when the collective strength of team is there. Now, are you ready for the VUCA world? We all know that we are facing this VUCA world wherein everything is so volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So just change this terminology. Our V becomes our vision, have a very, very clear vision. Our U becomes understanding. We need to understand the situation. And C is the clarity of thought, and A stand for the agility. So when we change our VUCA definition, we are getting ready for this uncertainty as a resilient leader. So who is a resilient leader? We started with a resilient leader is a lifelong learner. So a learner in me today bows down to the learner in you, because each one of you, you are a learner. You are a learner. That is why we are associated together and we are deliberating about this such an important and pertinent topic, that is about resilient leadership. So let me give you some quick fix of resilient leadership. So each one of you, I firmly believe each one of you are a leader. Is the leader in you equipped to lead? While the deliberation was going on, you were asking so many questions to your own self. As I told you, it's time to take a pause and keep on asking yourself. So quickly, let me take you to A to Z of futuristic leader in making. And I again believe each one of you is a leader. The only thing is you have to just let the leader come out. So let's unleash the leader together. So when we talk about A to Z of leadership, each one of you need to be authentic in the world wherein everything is available on Google, wherein you have the copies of every second thing. Be your own first copy. Be authentic. Be a limited edition. Do not try to be anybody's copy. Be authentic. It is very important. A leader needs to have authentic idea. A leader needs to be authentic. Use your brains in the most positive manner. This is the beautiful gift our body has. Our brain has immense power and potential to think innovatively. Use your left brain, right brain, but use it creatively, innovatively, and come out with the positive ideas and positive outlook. Be a part of the change. Do not resist change. Change is the only universal constant. The more adaptable you are to the change, the more resilient leader you are. You are the one who is driving your own destiny. You are the one who is driving your own future. Do not let anyone else drive it for you. Take charge of your own life, drive it, and navigate the path for others also. You have energy, immense energy. So enhance your positive energy and become that positive person that you always wanted to be, or those positive person whom you used to look up to. You have the ability, you have the energy to become that positive person. Foresight. Are you a person who have a foresight, or you are the one who have the limited vision? Again, you need to ask yourself. Be very clear about what you want. What are you planning for? What is your growth plan? So your foresight needs to be very well planned, and you need to be very visionary for that. For that, it is very important that we need to move from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. Then only we can have the clear foresight. How honorable are you? Do people look up to you? Very important. Work on yourself and become an honorable person, because people look up to the people who are honorable, who are respected by others, who are honest, who are courageous, who are truthful. These are few of the qualities which makes you an honorable person. Inspiring. How inspiring are you? It is not about whether you are inspiring 100 of people or not. Are you able to inspire just one person? If you're able to do that, then you are the inspiring leader. Do your deeds in such a manner that they become inspirations for others. We all have a journey. A life is a journey. How you are coping up with your journey, or how you are taking that journey, how positively you are moving ahead with that journey is what matter. Because tomorrow your journey will become a story for someone, and that story needs to be very, very motivating and inspirational. Knowledge. Do you think you have immense knowledge to face the challenges of tomorrow? If no, then it's time to acquire new knowledge. See, we cannot say that if we have so many degrees, we are a knowledgeable person. Degrees do not make you a knowledgeable person. Are you aware of what is happening in your society, in the world, in your neighborhood, everywhere? You need to have the knowledge. You need to have the knowledge about the changes which are happening in the global scenario. So keep on sharpening your knowledge. Your knowledge always stays with you. And the more you share it, the more you grow. So keep sharing and keep learning. Knowledge is your asset. Keep on increasing that asset and lead by example. You look forward to so many people who have set example for you. So make sure that you are also leading by example. You are also becoming that person whom people can look up to. Always remember, a leader needs to show the way, go the way, and practice what he or she is preaching. So if you have to become a truly resilient leader, lead by your own example. How are you managing yourself? Not just your time management, your entire routine management, your management of thoughts, your management of action, your management of deeds. Management is very important, whether it's financial management or it's time management. You need to be an expert in that. So these are few of the skills you need to sharpen each and every day. How important is your network? I spoke about social connection. Ensure that your network is very strong and you're taking out time to then sharpening it even more or making it more stronger, because your network is equivalent to your net worth. So it is very important to have a strong network. How observant are you? If you're observant, you will know what your team members are doing, and then you can acknowledge their work and you can appreciate the work. When you're observant, you will know where are the loopholes that you have to work on. You will know where are the pain points, where are the danger points that you need to work on. So be very, very observant. And as an educator, all the educators need to be very, very observant, because they are dealing with human lives day in and day out. They are sharpening the future of their own country. Students are there in your classroom. So be very observant. Peace of mind. You can do everything only and only when you have peace of mind. If you do not have peace of mind, whatever you are doing will not make any sense, because that is not something which will emit peace. So please follow and practice peace of mind. Be a qualified person. Keep on sharpening your skills. Today, you know, okay, you have learned so much. Go for another learning. I'm not telling you to spend your time only in acquiring degree, but there are so many short-term courses which are relevant as per your profession. So keep on increasing on that quality, that yes, you are becoming a qualified person every time when you take up a short-term course. My R stand for resilience. How important is it? We are all discussing about resilient, wherein we know how to face adversity, wherein we know how proactive we are, so that before any crisis struck, we know we have plan B ready. So be resilient, come what may. Self-esteem. Always keep your self-esteem high. A resilient leader always keep the self-esteem high and do not compromise with the situation which are not in the benefit of the entire community. Then comes your target. whatever we are doing, can we ever move our eyes away from our target? Never. A resilient leader knows the target, and that is how he or she plans for their growth plan. So always keep an eye on your target and have unwavering faith in your team, unwavering faith in the goodness of God, unwavering faith in everyone. When you practice unwavering faith, trust me, then you see those things happening, because we have the power to manifest. Use that power of manifestation. Have unwavering faith and let people have unwavering faith on you. You need to become the example. As I told you, we need to lead by example. Be a visionary. Don't have a short-term vision. See something which is beyond everyone's reach. I really like this particular slide, where in this you can see this giraffe. The giraffe is seeing beyond the skies. So that is how your vision needs to be, a very long-term vision. Then comes your wheel of well-being. You need to be well first. When it comes to your mind, keep on learning. When it comes to your spirit, keep on giving. When it comes to people, keep on getting connected to like-minded people. When it comes to place, take notice, observe everything. You need to be very observant. When it comes to planet, it is our joint responsibility. We need to take care of this planet. And when it comes to your body, you need to be active. And that is the wheel of well-being you have to manage. And if you manage this wheel of well-being well, then you are a resilient leader who is ready to lead any situation, any crisis, any unprecedented times that will come ahead. So the X stands for X factor. So if you feel that it's only celebrities, players, or the famous known people have X factor, no, it's you. Each one of you have this X factor. The only thing is you need to identify your X factor and then enhance it. So who is most important? It's you. Each one of you who is there with us today, you are most important, because first of all, you need to take care of yourself, your mind, your body, your skill, your attitude, your deed. You need to take care of that. Once you do that, then you are able to take care of others. Then you are able to take care of your team. Then you're able to take care of your ecosystem, your planet, everything. But all starts from you. So at the end of everything, are you ready to become zero? Now you must be wondering, why zero? Because think about zero from a different perspective. Zero, when it gets associated to any digit, it increases the value of that digit. So what you need to do is you need to become that zero who is the value enhancer. With whomsoever you get associated with, you enhance the value of that person, value of that organization, value of that cause. So become that zero and be ready to become that zero, because that zero is the value enhancer. And last but not the least, always remember, look around, because when you look around, you see entire world is ready to collaborate. Look beyond. When you look beyond something which is visible, you see how creative the world is, and creative ideas comes to you also. Look deep, because looking deep is critical thinking. You then start critically thinking about the situation and you come out with the most innovative ideas. Look within, self-introspection. It is important to introspect, self-introspect, because you are a resilient leader. You are leading by your own example. You need to introspect every time, whatever you have done, the deeds, the action, whether they were towards the betterment of society and planet or not. Last but not the least, look up. I always tell everyone to look up, because when we look up and we see the sky, we see the abundance. So embrace that abundance. There are abundance of opportunity available for everyone. Are we ready to embrace that abundance? When we are ready to do, we are in the process of becoming a resilient leader, a better version of ourselves. So what we need to do is, when you will look at the mirror, turn that mirror into the windows of opportunities for yourself. And when you look at the mirror, ask yourself, are you really becoming the resilient leader that you want it to be. And your mirror will never give you the wrong answer. Your mirror is your reflection. Let your reflection be proud of you. Let your reflection criticize you. Let your reflection ask questions from you, and let your reflection provoke you or poke you, because that poking is sometimes needed. So all I need to tell you towards the end is, when you will look at yourself, your reflection in the mirror, turn that mirror into the windows of opportunity for you, because you are a resilient leader. You are not restricted. Your thoughts are not restricted in one box, in one frame. You are an out of box leader. You are a resilient leader who has shown the world that come what may, whatever is the situation, however negative is the situation, you can move ahead. You can go that way. You can show that way. Your words, action, thoughts, and deeds all are in sync, and all are positively driven. It is said in Sanskrit, Yad bhav tad bhavati. That means whatever you think, same things happen to you. So your thinking, your thought process, it what is manifested. Think positive, act positive, lead by positive example. With this, I am so very thankful to each one of you for listening to me today. It was very, very enriching and enlightening to share my thoughts with you. With grateful heart, I bow down. As I said, a learner in me bows down to the learner in you. Once again, I am thankful to each one of you for providing me this platform to share my thoughts, my view, my perspective, my vision for a resilient leader. I am practicing it daily, and I want each one of you to practice it daily, because there is nothing that is impossible. Impossible itself says, I am possible. So it is not about how many times you're falling, how many times you are bouncing back is who you are. So be that resilient leader whom you always appreciated, because you are the new age leader. You are the new you, and it's you. You are the new resilient leader. Thank you so much. Truly grateful to each one of you.